Good morning, students. Yesterday, in the previous lecture, we have uh, started with ether compounds. There we have completed about nomenclature of simple ethers. So, in today's class, we have to start with nomenclature of cyclic ethers. Nomenclature of cyclic ethers. How to name cyclic ether compounds. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about how to write IUPAC name of simple ethers. Simple ethers means this is one compound CH3, OCH3. What's the IUPAC name? Lithoxy methane compound. Common name is dimethyl ether. That is common name. It is simple ether. You can take another one compound CH3, CH2O. It is CH3. What is the name of this compound? It is, this group is called as methoxy, and here two carbon atoms are the ethane. Methoxy ether is the IUPAC name and common name is ethyl methyl ether. So these are all the simple ethers. Now in case of cyclic ethers, how to write IUPAC name of cyclic ethers? Cyclic ethers, they may be containing 2 carbon atom, 3 carbon atom, 4 carbon atom and different carbon atoms may be present. This is one cyclic ether compound where oxidation is present between CH2 and this is what CH2. So same compound, I'll write here just for your confirmation. This is H, and this is oxygen, this is oxygen. So same compound is there. So wherever such type of compounds are there, those are called as oxiranes. This is known as oxirane. 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 So next one, the compound with 3 carbon atoms. This is looks like 4-membered cyclic structure. Such type of compounds are referred to be as oxidane. Oxidane. 3-membered cyclic structure, oxidane. 4-membered, it is going to be oxidane. Next one, if you have a compound with a 5-membered cyclic structure, 4 carbon atom and 1 oxygen atom is a part of cyclic structure. So these compounds are called as oxalone. It is known as oxalone generally. And the compound with 6-membered cyclic structure where oxygen atom is a part of the ring, these compounds are generally called as what? Oxane. So generally these are the different types of cyclic structures, cyclic ether compounds. 3-membered cyclic structure generally called as oxirane. It is oxidane. Next one oxalone, and next one is going to be oxane compound. So even higher membered cyclic compounds also we have, but here please for our discussion these are the examples what we have to concentrate. Now in case of this nomenclature of cyclic ethers, we are following two different ways. One is in the form of oxirane, next one in the form of epoxide. These compounds are also called as epoxide compounds. Generally these are commonly called as what? Epoxide compounds, epoxides. So we are following different method for the nomenclature of these cyclic ethers, that is by using oxirane as well as the corresponding epoxide name. So first we will go with some of the compounds. One compound I will take. This is one simple compound. Here oxygen atom is present. Whenever such type of oxygen atom is present, it is commonly known as oxirane compound, as I have mentioned earlier. It is called as oxirane. Next compound is, this is, if you are numbering, if you are naming on the basis of oxirane method, so this is one group is present. Now here CH2 is there, this is CH and this one is going to be CH3. In case of this particular oxirane method, the numbering of the cyclic chain is going to be there with first number should be given to the oxygen atom, second number should be given to this one, third number should be given to this one. In case of oxirane method, we are using oxirane method of nomenclature of this compound. First number should be given to oxygen, second number to the next carbon atom containing substrate element. This is 2 and this one is going to be 3. Here it is 1, this is 2 and this is 3, or 1, 2, 3 also can follow. What is there at second carbon atom? That is a methyl group is present. So it is known as 2-methyl oxirane compound. What is the name of this compound? 2-methyl oxyrane. I will take the same example how to write the nomenclature by using epoxide method. Next one, another one compound I will consider here. This is oxygenator. It is one group and this is going to be another group is present. Now this should be number 1. This is second one and this is going to be third one. What is the position of methyl group? Here one methyl, here one methyl. This is another methyl. This is totally 4 methyl groups are there. So 2, 2. On second carbon atom 2 methyl groups are there. Next one on third carbon atom also 2 methyl groups are there. 3, 3. Totally 4 methyl groups are there. So it is tetra methyl. 2, 2, 3, 3 tetramethyl. What is the group here? It is called as oxyrane. 2, 2, 3, 3 tetramethyl oxyrane. That is the name of the compound in the form of oxyrane method. Next one, if I consider, suppose if I go with another example, fourth one, this is oxygen. Here one oxygen is present. This is one oxygen. This is one methyl. This is methyl. This is also methyl. Here 1. This is 2, and this is 3. Here you can number this one as 1, 2, and 3 because both the carbon atoms contain only one methyl group. So this is 2 and this is 3. Or this is 2 and this is 3. What's the name of this compound? Here it is 2, 3 dimethyl. 2, 3 dimethyl oxyrane compound. 2, 3 dimethyl oxyrane compound. So that is the nomenclature of these compounds. If I go with another one compound, this is almost same type of compound is there. Our next one is going to be an substituent. Here this substituent is called as ethyl. This is called as methyl. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. What's the correct IUPAC name of this compound? It is 2-ethyl. On second carbon atom, ethyl group is present, 2-ethyl. Next one, 3-methyl. 2-ethyl, 3-methyl. Next one is what? Oxyrane compound. Similarly, if I consider this is the compound with the 4-membered ring. So this is a group, methyl is there, and this is another group, methyl is present. Now this compound here 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is going to be 4. Complete cyclic ring should be numbered with first priority must be given to what? Oxygen. It is 2, 4. Why 2, 4? And second position 1 methyl and fourth position 1 methyl. Dimethyl. 2, 4 dimethyl. Is it oxyrane compound? Oxyrane must be used for how many membered? 3 membered. This is 4-membered cyclic structure. What's the common name for this one? It is oxetane compound. So the name of this ether is going to be 2, 4 dimethyl oxetane compound is there. So that is the method which is applicable for the nomenclature of cyclic ethers, right? That is commonly called as oxyrane method. Now how to write IUPAC name of cyclic ethers by using epoxide. Sometimes the compounds are also called as epoxides. When we have to use the word epoxide compound. So if I go with the epoxide method, this is by using epoxide method. If I go with that one, what is that? How to write IUPAC name of those compounds? Suppose if I go with the same example, this is oxygen, this is oxygen. Here we have to number the carbon atom without numbering to the oxygen atom. Numbering must not be assigned for oxygen atom except oxygen atom carbon. Longest chain is going to be taken here. This is 1, this is going to be 2, or this is 1, this is going to be 2. Both are going to be same. What is the name of this compound? It is 1, 2. It is epoxy. 1, 2 epoxy ethane compound. 1, 2 epoxy ethane compound. So this is the IUPAC name of this compound containing 2 carbon atom. Second one, if I take, this is same compound I am using here. This is oxygen. Next one is here. Next one methyl. How to write the IUPAC name of this compound. Here with respect to oxygen it is known as 2-methyl oxygen, but here this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. But here in case of oxygen method this group is taken as substituent. Here carbon chain is going to be numbered, longest chain is going to be taken, and here numbering should not be mentioned for oxygen atom. Now what is the name of this compound? It is 1,2. It is epoxy. 1,2 epoxy. What is the number of carbon atom in the longest chain? 3 carbon atoms are there, so it is called as propane. 1,2 epoxy propane. That is also IUPAC name. This is also found to be IUPAC name. Either you can go with oxidation method or you can go with this epoxide method. Next one compound, same compound I will consider here. This is CH bond is there. This is oxygen. Next, right. How to write the same compound is named as 2,2,3,3 tetramethyl oxidate compound. Here this should be number 1, or this one should be number 1, or this one should be number 1. It makes no difference. This is second one, this is third one, this is going to be fourth one. Totally 4 carbon atoms are part of longest chain, and second position methyl is there, third position also methyl is there. 2,3 dimethyl. 2,3 dimethyl. Next 2,3 epoxy. 2,3 epoxy. What is the longest carbon chain? It is 4 carbon atom. It is butane. Students, first how it is 2,3 dimethyl. This is going to be methyl group and this is going to be methyl group. These two methyl groups are present on which carbon atom? 2 and 3. So we wrote 2,3 dimethyl. 2,3 epoxy. This is going to be epoxide structure which is between second and third carbon atom. 2,3 epoxy. And butane is for the carbon chain containing 4 carbon atom. It is commonly called as butane compound. So this is the epoxide method of nomenclature of this compound. If I go with another one example which we have discussed in case of oxidation method, number of examples can be considered here. This is oxygen and this is one ethyl group is there. This is going to be methyl group. So how to write IUPAC name of this compound? This is 1, it is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. This is the correct way of numbering. Here numbering can't be from this particular side. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as it is mentioned here. Now, is there any substituent in this molecule? There is no any substituent. Substituent like this. Here it is not present. Total carbon chain consists of 5 carbon atoms here. It is 2,3 epoxy. Why 2,3 epoxy? This group is going to be taken as epoxy and total longest chain contains 5 carbon atoms, so it is called as pentane. 2,3 epoxy pentane, that is the IUPAC name of that compound. Next one, by using the same epoxy method, this is the compound oxygen. This is another group is present. It is completely cyclohexane ring is present here. Just cyclohexane ring is present here. What is the name of this compound? This is 1. This is found to be 2. It is complete group is found to be cyclohexane. It is compound is 1,2 epoxy. 1,2 epoxy. Leaving this group, it is completely called as leaving this group. It is known as cyclohexane. So it is complete name is what? 1,2 epoxy cyclohexane. That is the complete IUPAC name of this compound. So one simple thing, difference between epoxide and oxidation method is that in oxidation method, numbering should begin with oxygen atom and only those carbon atom which are attached to oxygen must be numbered. But in case of epoxide method, we have to take the longest chain of carbon atoms without considering oxygen atoms. So this is the nomenclature applicable for cyclic ether compound either by using oxidation method or by using what? Epoxide method. If you take this compound, what is another common name for this compound? Another common name is going to be ethylene oxide. It is also called as ethylene oxide compound. Ethylene oxide compound. Similarly, this is called as propylene oxide compound because this is obtained by propene compound. This one is obtained from ethene compound or ethylene. Ethylene oxide and propylene oxide. Those are the different types of substituted oxide compounds are there. So just to remember about oxidation method as well as what epoxide method of nomenclature of these ether compounds. Take it fast. Right? Nomenclature of these cyclic ether compounds. 3-membered ring is called as oxirane. 4-membered ring is known as what? Oxetane. 5-membered ring is called as oxalo, and 6-membered ring is called as what? Oxane compound generally. If you get the compound in examination, it will be either 3-membered ring or it will be a 4-membered ring. Oxirane may be there or oxetane may be there. Right? Okay. This is about nomenclature of cyclic ether, students. After the nomenclature, next one is going to be methods of preparation of ethers. How to prepare different type of ether compounds. Here we have to discuss about the preparation of only aliphatic ethers and aromatic ethers, not about cyclic ethers. It is not there in our syllabus. Only the preparation of simple ether compounds will be there. Either it is symmetrical or unsymmetrical ether. First method for the preparation of ether is going to be first one. It is first method by dehydration of alcohols. Dehydration of alcohols. Whenever alcohols undergoes dehydration, it is a type of elimination reaction. Dehydration of alcohols generally gives ethers. In properties of alcohols, we have discussed very clearly. Alcohols, when they undergo dehydration, it forms two types of products. One is formation of alkene takes place, next one formation of what? Ether takes place, depending upon the condition, that is especially temperature. At high temperature, formation of alkene takes place. At low temperature, formation of what? The ether compound takes place. In this method, first one is going to be number one. I'll take number one by acid catalyzed what? Dehydration of alcohols. Dehydration takes place, but it is in presence of an acid, so it is called as acid catalyzed dehydration of what compounds? Alcohol compounds. So how this reaction takes place generally? This is CH3, it is CH2, this is going to be OH. When this alcohol, what's the name of this alcohol? It is ethanol. When this ethanol is treated with concentrated H2SO4, at a temperature of 413 Kelvin or 140 degrees Celsius, 413, it is mandatory to mention this particular temperature. Here we take 2 moles of this one. The product obtained here it is CH3, CH2, OCH2, CH2. Plus, when it is dehydration, naturally elimination of water molecule takes place. What is the common name? Diethyl ether. Common name is diethyl ether. What is the IUPAC name, students? Ethoxy ethane. So this process of getting ether from the alcohol is known as acid catalyzed dehydration of alcohols. And dehydration is going to be taking place in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. Reason is that it is one of the best dehydrating agent at temperature of 413 Kelvin, 413 Kelvin. What are the important points to remember in case of this one? So first important point related to this one. So this one is an elimination reaction is there. Elimination reaction. Dehydration is considered as an elimination reaction. Okay. And here this particular reaction follows SN2 mechanism. SN2 mechanism is followed. When SN2 mechanism is followed means there is no formation of carbocation. Carbocation formation does not take place here. Then rate of the particular compound it is equal to, that is rate of the compound is directly proportional to, that is concentration of alcohol as well as concentration of nucleophile. It is following E2 reaction. In case of E2 bimolecular elimination reaction, there is no carbocation. Strong nucleophile is going to be required in case of this one. And next one, to carry out this particular ether, temperature must be, remember, temperature must be what? 413 Kelvin. Temperature must be what? 413 Kelvin. And here excess of alcohol should be used. Very important. Excess of alcohol is used. Next important point, order of reactivity of alcohols towards this reaction only. Primary is more active than secondary, secondary is more active than tertiary. Just to remember this particular points, and as SN2 is going to be there, it follows inversion of configuration. Inversion of configuration, because it is SN2. The nucleophile attacks from the right side, back side attack of nucleophile takes place, and formation of particular ether takes place. Remember this, whatever the temperature we have mentioned here, 413 Kelvin, this is applicable only for ethanol. So different types of alcohols have got different temperature to produce the respective ether compound. And important point to be remembered here, this particular reactivity of alcohol is going to be which one? Primary is greater than secondary, secondary is greater than tertiary. Primary alcohols gives good yield of ether compared to secondary. Secondary alcohols gives somewhat better yield compared to tertiary. Tertiary alcohol do not give such type of what? Ether compounds. Remember, we have to go with certain amount of example. If I start the compound with here, this is one reaction, you can consider number A. This is second reaction B. If I take the compound CH3, this is CH, this is CH3, and this is OH. What's the name of this alcohol? It is an isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol is a secondary alcohol. 2 degree alcohol is there. This is what? 1 degree alcohol. Ethanol is there. When this compound is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, at 413 Kelvin temperature, this is 2 moles. Here, in case of secondary alcohols, formation of only ether does not take place as in case of primary alcohols. Primary alcohols gives only ether compound, but secondary alcohol gives a mixture of 2 compounds. Those 2 compounds are CH3CH double bond CH2, one alkene plus one more compound. This is CH3CH. It is CH3. This is OCH. Next one CH3 and CH3 plus H2 is also produced. This is an alkene compound is there here. Alkene compound is obtained, and this one is an ether compound. It is an ether compound is there. You can write the name of this particular compound. So in case of this alkene and ether, this alkene is a major product because of dehydration compared to this particular ether compound. Hence, Whenever secondary alcohols are used, remember formation of alkene as well as ether takes place, but alkene is the major product compared to what? The ether compound. This is with respect to which alcohol? Secondary alcohol. What happens when we start with the tertiary alcohol? Whether the formation of ether takes place or not in case of tertiary alcohols. I'll give one example for that compound also, tertiary alcohol also. One example I'll give, that is, if I start a reaction with a tertiary alcohol, this is CH3, this is CH3, next one is going to be OH. It is tertiary butyl alcohol, right? What type of alcohol it is? 1 degree or 2 degree? It is 3 degree alcohol. Tertiary alcohol is that when it is treated with concentrated H2SO4 at a temperature of 413 Kelvin. What's the product obtained? Tertiary alcohol always converted into respective alkene compound. It is CH3, this is carbon, this is going to be CH3, here double bond CH2 plus H2. Now this one is an alkene 2-methyl propene compound is there. So this is the major product in case of this dehydration of tertiary alcohols. What point you have to remember? Primary alcohol gives better yield of ether. Secondary alcohol gives ether as well as alkene, but major product is alkene. And tertiary alcohol gives only alkene. So to prepare ether compound, we have to go with the primary alcohol only, but not secondary alcohol and tertiary alcohol. If you use secondary alcohol, both products are obtained, but alkene is the major product. And in case of tertiary alcohols, no question of ether, only formation of alkene takes place. So this is the difference between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. Order of reactivity of alcohols towards the formation of ether is going to be primary greater than secondary, which is greater than tertiary alcohols. So this is about preparation of ether from an alcoholic compound. Now we have to discuss the mechanism involved in the conversion of alcohol into what? Ether compound. We'll discuss the mechanism. Remember these 2 points. It follows SN2 mechanism. Inversion of configuration is going to be there. It follows bimolecular elimination reaction, and in this method to get ether, alcohol must be which one? Primary. If alcohol is secondary or tertiary, then you won't get the ether compound as the major product. Okay? Now, what's the mechanism of dehydration of this alcohol? Mechanism of this particular reaction. In case of this mechanism, first I will write one reaction. After that I will go with mechanism. CH3, this is CH2, this one is OH. Already I have explained about this primary alcohol. Concentrated H2SO4 at what temperature? 413 Kelvin. Okay. What's the compound obtained? This is CH3, CH2O, CH2. Next one CH3 plus H2O. What's the name of this ether? It is ethoxyethane. IUPAC name is ethoxyethane. What's the common name? Diethyl ether. It is ethanol compound. Ethanol IUPAC. Okay. What's the mechanism involved in case of this reaction? Mechanism. First step, what happens? First step, protonation of alcohol takes place. This is CH3, this is CH2, this is OH. Oxygen is having 2 lone pair of electrons. This H plus is obtained from sulfuric acid. This is H2SO4 molecule which dissociate into H plus and HSO4 minus. Remember, it is acting as a catalyst. It does not take part in the reaction. Whatever the amount of H plus was used, same amount of H plus is produced at the end of the reaction. When this proton is going to attack on this molecule of this oxygen atom, it forms CH3, CH2, this is O, this is H, it is H, right? Next, positive charge. Why positive charge on oxygen atom? Because it has used its lone pair of electron for the formation of bond with the hydrogen. So this is called as protonated alcohol compound. Protonated alcohol. This is a simple alcohol compound is there. Next, what happens in the next step after the formation of protonated alcohol compound? Next step is second one. Second step, what happens? This is CH3 CH2OH. Second alcohol. Totally how many alcohols we have used? 2 moles of alcohol. This is the first mole of alcohol. This is second alcohol molecule. Second alcohol. It's not secondary. Second alcohol molecule. Right? This is having a lone pair of electron plus, that is protonated alcohol is there. CH3. This is CH2. This is OH. This is H and positive charge. One thing remember here, when this alcohol, it acts as a nucleophile. When this particular alcohol nucleophile attacks on this molecule, how attack takes place? Whatever the molecule is there between carbon and oxygen, these electrons are shifted over this one. This water is in better leaving group. When water is only considered as a better leaving group after the elimination of this one, these lone pair of electrons attacks on the positively charged carbon atom. Immediately formation of, here there is no formation of carbocation. Then you can think about after elimination of water, the carbon should get positive charge. The attainment of positive charges for a very least amount of time, immediately the nucleophile attacks on that carbon atom having partial positive charge. After the elimination of water molecule, just concentrate here. This is CH3, it is CH2, this CH3, CH2 I have mentioned. This oxygen is there, it is CH2, next one it is CH3. Okay, this is hydrogen, lone pair and positive charge. And this water molecule is eliminated, that is H2O, and this H2O we have mentioned here. So after formation of this species where oxygen atom is carrying positive charge, the third step is loss of proton takes place. Loss of proton, and you remember this particular attack of nucleophile takes place on this molecule from the back side. That is inversion of configuration is considered, because of that reason this is going to be considered as RDS, rate determining step. In this rate determining step, both alcohol as well as this molecule is present, nucleophile as well as protonated alcohol is there. So rate of the reaction depends upon both the substances. Increasing the concentration of this one or increasing the concentration of this one definitely affects the or increases the rate of reaction. So this is RDS and this one follows what? SN2 mechanism, because attack of this nucleophile takes place from the backside after the elimination of this water molecule. Third step, what happens here? This is CH3. Okay, this molecule I am writing here. CH2, next one oxygen. It is CH2, next one is CH3. Fine. This is OH. Probably you are predicting what happens in the next step. Now, what we have to eliminate to get the ether compound? To get the ether compound, this hydrogen should be eliminated. For the elimination of hydrogen, we have to use HSO4 minus. So whatever amount of HSO4 minus was remaining, that HSO4 minus attacks here. So these electrons are shifted over this one. When H plus attacks on this HSO4 minus, so the remaining compound is CH3, CH2O, CH2, next one CH3 plus whatever the amount of H2SO4 we have used, same amount of H2SO4 is obtained. So this is an ether compound. What's the name of that ether? Same ethoxy ethane is there. What happens in the first step? Protonation of alcohol takes place. Proton attacks on the oxygen atom which is carrying lone pair of electron to form protonated alcohol. Second step, what happens in case of second step, the nucleophile, that is second alcohol molecule, attacks on the carbon atom after loss of this water molecule. Immediately this takes place in only one step, and here the formation of this intermediate species is obtained, which on elimination of proton in presence of HSO4 minus, it gives rise to what? That is ethoxy ethane compound. This is mechanism involved in the dehydration of what? Alcoholic compounds. Take note first. Okay. 3 steps are there in case of mechanism. Primary alcohol gives better yield than secondary and tertiary alcohols. tertiary alcohol will not give ether compound, it gives only alkene compound, tertiary alcohol. Right? Okay. Next, after this mechanism, what happens when we go to different types of alcohols? Here, if I go with CH3, CH2, OH plus. In case of previous examples, we use only one alcohol, 2 moles of same alcohol. Now here, this is CH3OH. When these two alcohols are treated with concentrated sulfuric acid at 413 Kelvin, whether the formation of ether takes place or not. What's the name of this compound? Ethanol. Primary alcohol. It is what? Methanol. Primary alcohol. Both are primary. When both are primary alcohols, naturally formation of ether takes place. Formation of ether. Whether only one ether is possible in case of this reaction, only one ether or more than one ether is possible here, this you observe. Probably if you remember the Woods reaction, so same type of reaction takes place here. In case of this one, as you are thinking, this OH and this H is eliminated. So first compound is CH3, CH2, OCH3. What's the name of that ether? Methoxyethane. Second compound obtained here it is. Ethanol molecule combines with next another ethanol molecule only. When two ethanol molecules are used, the product is similar to this one. It is OCH2 and CH3. Next one, when only methanol molecule combines with another methanol molecule, then CH3O, this is going to be CH3. So when two different alcohols are used, it forms a mixture of ethers, methoxyethane, ethoxyethane, methoxymethane compound. Three different types of ethers are produced. If you take only single type of alcohol, formation of only one alcohol takes place. Even though both are found to be primary alcohols, there is no formation of single product. Instead of that, there is a formation of three different types of ethers. So this method is not applicable for preparation of ethers by using different type of alcohol. Same type of alcohol should be used, either only methanol or only ethanol must be used to get the only one ether. But if you are using two different types of ethers, then formation of what? Mixture of ethers are produced in this reaction. Okay, this is dehydration of alcohol takes place in presence of an acid, that is acid catalyzed dehydration. Next one is called as catalytic dehydration. It is catalytic dehydration. Catalytic dehydration also gives rise to respective ether compound only, but difference is what? There we are using H2SO4 compound, but here we are using some other substance which acts as dehydrating agent. This is the compound CH3CH2OH. When this compound is treated with Al2O3, alumina is considered as one of the best dehydrating agent. When this alumina is carried out at low temperature and at high temperature here also, when this particular ethanol is treated with what? Alumina as a dehydrating agent, at a low temperature formation of CH3, CH2, OCH2, CH3. And at high temperature here also the compound produced is going to be CH2, CH2 and this is H2. So same ethanol gives, what is this compound? Ethoxyethane at low temperature condition, ethoxyethane. And instead of Al2O3, if you are using H2SO4 at low temperature gives same ethoxyethane. At 413 gives, if it is sulfuric acid, at 413 ethoxyethane, at 443 it is going to be what? Ethene compound, that is formation of alkene compound takes place. As I mentioned earlier in the preparation of this one, in the beginning of this method, Dehydration of alcohol always gives us to two compound depending upon the temperature. If temperature is high, if temperature is very higher one, then it gives us to what alkene compound takes place, whether it is Al2O3 or H2SO4. If temperature is going to be somewhat less temperature, formation of ether compound takes place, and now this reaction is called as catalytic dehydration reaction. In catalytic dehydration also elimination of water takes place. At low temperature it forms ether, and at high temperature it forms what? Alkene. Here if you are preparing for ether, what condition you have to remember? The reaction should be carried out at low temperature itself. Otherwise, when the reaction is carried out at high temperature, formation of which compound takes place? Alkene compound takes place. So this is about the dehydration of what? Alcohols, which gives rise to what? Which gives rise to ether compound. Remember, it follows SN2 mechanism. Temperature should be low, otherwise it gives rise to what? Ether, alkene compound. Third method. It is second one only. It is from ether. I have to consider this one as the second method itself. First method is alcohols. In alcohols only two methods. Number 2. Second one. By important method, Williamson's ether synthesis. Very, very important method. Williamson's ether synthesis. Ethers can be prepared from Williamson's ether synthesis. What happens in case of Williamson's ether synthesis? This is just Rx. First I am writing general reaction. What is Rx? Alkyl halide. Alkyl halide. Haloalkane. When it combines with NaO, this is R. And take R dash. This species is known as sodium alkoxide. Sodium alkoxide. In presence of dry ether. This sodium combines with the halogen to form sodium halide. The compound is ROR dash plus NaX. What is this ROR dash? This compound is known as ether. Formation of ether takes place here. Alkyl halide is treated with the sodium alkoxide or potassium alkoxide. In presence of dry ether, it forms an ether compound ROR dash. Now I will go to an example. This is CH3 ClZ plus NaOCH. NaOCH in presence of dry ether. Tell me what is the product obtained? This NaCl is eliminated. So the compound is CH3OCH3, okay, plus NaCl. What's the name of this ether, students? It is called as methoxy. Common name, dimethyl ether. What's the name of this one? Chloromethane. Chloromethane. This is called as sodium methoxide. Sodium methoxide. When chloromethane reacts with sodium methoxide in presence of dry ether, it forms what compound? Methoxymethane compound. One more example. This is CH3CH2Cl. You can take any halogen, chlorine, bromine, iodine, anyone. This is sodium O. This is CH3. In presence of dry ether, this NaCl gets eliminated. What's the product, student? CH3, CH2O, CH3 plus NaCl. What's the name of this particular ether? It is methoxyethane compound. Formation of methoxyethane compound takes place. Okay. What is the important point to remember in case of this Williamson's ether synthesis? Alkyl halide combines with sodium alkoxide in presence of dry ether, it forms that ether compound formation takes place. First important point, this one also follows SN2 mechanism. Remember, this one also follows SN2 mechanism. SN2 mechanism means no formation of carbocation. There is no formation of carbocation. It follows bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. There is no formation of carbocation. Very important point in case of this one is going to be, whatever the alkyl halide we are using here, this alkyl halide must be primary. Only primary alkyl halide should be used. Must be primary. And alkoxide may be primary or secondary or tertiary, doesn't matter. But in case of this particular reaction, alkyl halide, whatever the alkyl halide we are using, it must be primary alkyl halide only. If you go with the secondary alkyl halide, what is the consequence? Which compound formation takes place? Whether ether is formed or not, that we have to discuss. Only alkyl halide must be primary. If alkyl halide is going to be secondary or alkyl halide is going to be tertiary, then formation of ether takes place or not, that we have to consider here. So here if I go with one simple reaction, next third example I will consider here, third one. This is formation of one compound I will write here. CH3, this is carbon, this is CH3, it is CH3, next one O6. This is one. That is an ether. This compound is commonly known as ether. 2-methoxy, 2-methyl propane. This is 2-methyl, 2-methoxy propane. That is that is a formation of ether. To get this corresponding ether, two possibilities are there. Which is the alkyl halide molecule, that is RH molecule, and which is the respective alkoxide molecule. To get this particular ether compound, which is the alkyl halide and which is the sodium alkoxide compound. So here just I will consider CH3, this is carbon, this is CH3, next one CH3, this is ONA plus, this is Cl and this is going to be CS. One possibility. Another possibility is that this is CH3, next one is CH3, this is Cl plus Na, this is OCH3. Now if you go with these two possibilities, which is the correct possibility in case of this reaction? Whether this mixture gives rise to this ether or this mixture gives rise to this particular ether. Out of these two reactions, you observe, out of these two reactions, in one of the reaction there is no formation of that ether. So to get this particular ether, what should be the sodium alkoxide and what should be alkyl halide? This is an alkyl halide here and here this is going to be an alkyl halide. Now if you observe this particular reaction, just I will put a line over here. This is first possibility, this is second possibility. By using this mixture gives this ether or by using this mixture gives this ether. Here only difference is that this is the alkyl halide, that is going to be primary alkyl halide here. This is going to be primary alkyl halide and here I have taken tertiary alkyl halide. What condition we mentioned? Alkyl halide must be primary. When alkyl halide is going to be primary, then formation of ether takes place. So here the compound obtained is, remember very carefully, this is carbon, this is CH3. Next one CH3, after that OCH3 plus NaCl is produced. If the alkyl halide is going to be tertiary alkyl halide, whether the formation of this compound takes place, definitely there is no formation of that compound. Then which compound is possible here? It is CH3, next one carbon, next one. It is going to be CH3 double bond CH2 plus. It is CH3OH plus NaCl. Which compound is this one? an alkene formation takes place. If you are using tertiary alkyl halide, formation of alkene takes place instead of ether. If you are using primary alkyl halide, formation of what ether compound takes place. So sodium alkoxide here it is tertiary and sodium alkoxide here it is going to be primary. That alkoxide usually does not differentiate the reaction, only it is because of nature of what alkyl halides. Students, between primary alkyl halides and tertiary alkyl halides, which one undergoes dehydrohalogenation easily? This molecule undergoes dehydrohalogenation. When the dehydrohalogenation takes place, the formation of what? Alkene compound takes place. It's not found to be what? Ether compound. I'll explain the same reaction here. Why in first reaction ether formation takes place and in next reaction formation of an alkene takes place. Just to note down that one, I'll explain this same reaction. Why second reaction gives rise to respective alkene compound. Copy it first. Remember, sodium alkoxide may be anywhere, but alkyl halide must be which one? Only primary. Here I have clearly mentioned alkyl halide must be primary. Copy it. Okay. If you see the second reaction, in first reaction there is no any difference. In first reaction later we can get this particular ether. But why alkene formation takes place in case of second set of compounds? In case of second set of compounds, I am explaining second reaction. CH3ONA is there. This one dissociated into CH3 O minus and Na plus. This is CH3 O minus and Na plus, this gets separated. This one is going to be considered as nucleophile. What is the name of this nucleophile, students? Methoxide. Strong nucleophile. Methoxide is going to be considered as strong nucleophile. Now this nucleophile methoxide should attack on the molecule. Which molecule? This is CH3, this is C. It is CH3, next one is CH3, next one is Cl. Which is the living group here? Living group is going to be which one? Chloride. Chloride is a better living group. Even though chloride is going to be considered as better living group, this nucleophile should attack from the opposite because it undergoes what reaction? SN2 mechanism. In case of SN2 mechanism, the attack of nucleophile takes place from the back side. But here, presence of bulkier groups are present. Whenever such type of bulkier groups are present, this nucleophile CH3O minus cannot attack on this molecule either from here or from here. When this nucleophile cannot attack on this one, it acts as a base for the elimination of one proton. The same structure I'll write here. This is CH2 I'll mention. This is going to be H. This proton is added to CH3O minus instead of attack of the nucleophile. As a result, what happens? This is CH3. This is carbon atom. This is double bond CH2 is there. This one is CH3 plus. This Cl minus gets separated here and H is combining with what molecule? CH3O minus CH3OH is produced here. Plus this Cl minus combines with Na plus, that results in the formation of what? Sodium chloride. When alkyl halide is taken as tertiary alkyl halide, it is having maximum amount of crowding. Steric hindrance is there. Because of the presence of steric hindrance, there is no any space for the attack of this nucleophile over the carbon atom. Instead of this alkyl halide, if I write this is H and this is going to be H and this is going to be H, this is Cl. What's the name of this one? It is methyl chloride molecule is there. Methyl chloride. This is carbon. It is chlorine. This is hydrogen. This is hydrogen. This is hydrogen. The attack of CH3O minus easily takes place from this side. As a result, this bond gets cleaved. Formation of the particular ether compound takes place. But here, because of the presence of bulkier groups, the attack of nucleophile is not possible. Hence, the molecule operated is going to be an alkene compound but not an ether compound. So, alkyl halide must be primary. Got the reason why alkyl halide must be primary? Alkyl halide, if it is primary, attack of nucleophile takes place very easily. Then formation of what compound? Ether takes place. If it is in secondary or tertiary alkyl halide, here I have taken the example of tertiary only. If it is tertiary alkyl halide, this nucleophile CH3OH1S, even though it is stronger nucleophile, it cannot attack on this molecule. As a result, product is not an ether, product is going to be an respective alkene compound takes place. So, to get the better yield, alkyl halide must be primary and sodium alkoxide may be primary or secondary, or it may be what? Tertiary compound. Copy this one. Just I'll remove this points and one reaction. Continue the next example. Okay. Williamson's ether synthesis follows SN2 mechanism. Alkyl halide must be what? Primary. Alkoxide may be anyone because it forms a stronger nucleophilic compound. Next example, fourth one in the same reaction, Williamson's ether synthesis. This is ONA plus CH3Br in presence of dry ether. Next one, this is the molecule ONA plus C2H5Br and in presence of dry ether. What's the product in case of these two reactions, students? What is the name of this molecule? Sodium, both are same, sodium phenoxide or sodium phenate. Sodium phenoxide. Methyl bromide is the ethyl bromide. This is 1 degree alkyl halide. This is also 1 degree alkyl halide. Both are 1 degree. Naturally, formation of ether should take place. So the compound is OCH3 plus NaBr. So next compound is, this is C2H5 plus NaBr. What's the name of these two compounds? It is called as methoxybenzene, an aromatic ether, methoxybenzene. Commonly it is called as what? Anisole. What is this one? Ethoxybenzene. Ethoxybenzene. Commonly this compound is known as phenetol. It is known as phenetol, right? What compound produced in this reaction? This is ONA plus BrCH2 CH double bond CH2. What's the name of this molecule? Sodium phenoxide only. What is this one? Allyl bromide. Allyl bromide compound is there, right? So the compound is said to be this. NaBr gets eliminated. It is OCH2 CH double bond CH2. This is, what is the name of this group? Allyl. It is phenyl. It is allyl phenyl ether. This compound is called as allyl phenyl ether compound. Formation takes place, which is also an ether, unsaturated ether. Right? Another example, seventh one. This is Br plus NaOCH3. This is dry ether. Eighth one. This is Br plus NaOC2H5 in presence of dry ether. Next one, ninth one. If I take, this is Br plus, this is ONA. NaO. Right. In presence of bromobenzene, bromobenzene, bromobenzene. All three molecules are same. Sodium ethoxide, sodium ethoxide, sodium phenoxide or sodium phenate compound. This is sodium phenoxide or phenate. Right. What is the product obtained in case of those three reactions? Number 7, number 8, number 9. Formation of which ether takes place? Formation of which ether? Sodium bromide, if we are going to be considering this one, so the formation of OCH3 as you are thinking, and here also this is formation of what compound? OC2H5, and here in case of this one, what product is possible? This is O, this one is Phe. But all these reactions does not take place. Why these three reactions does not take place? Reason is that this is the molecule of haloarine. Haloarine does not undergo SN2 mechanism. Why it does not undergo SN2 mechanism? If you go with an halogen, you can take this is bromine, which consists of 3 lone pair of electrons. It causes plus M effect. Electron density, that is carbon bromine, gets partial double bond character. When it gets partial double bond character, it cannot be cleaved very easily. Because of this reason, these haloarine molecules, either this one or this one or this one, all these molecules do not undergo SN2 reaction. Hence, there is no formation of any type of ether. No formation of ether takes place. In order to get better yield of this one, alkyl halide should be primary. If aryl halide is going to be taken instead of that, then also there is no formation of ether. If you want to prepare aromatic ether, alkyl halide must be primary and sodium alkoxide can be aromatic. But if you take aryl halide compound as it is going to be, is there any confusion? This is sodium phenoxide, this is bromobenzene. Here sodium alkoxide is going to be aromatic. Here alkyl halide is going to be taken in the form of halogen ring. Hence that reaction is not possible. But this reaction comfortably takes place to form the respective ether. So these are the some precautionary conditions to get ether compound by using what? Williamson's ether synthesis. It follows SN2 mechanism. There is no carbocation. Inversion of configuration takes place. And most important thing is that to get better yield of ether, alkyl halide must be primary. And to get aromatic ether, aryl halide should not be used. Instead of that, you can use alkyl halide plus sodium phenoxide compound to get the aromatic ethers. If you try to carry out the reaction like this by taking aryl halide and sodium alkoxide, then there is no formation of what? Ether takes place. This is the second method. First method is by dehydration of alcohols. That two methods we have discussed. What is first one? Acid catalyzed dehydration. Second one is catalytic dehydration. And next second method is going to be by Williamson's ether synthesis. Alkyl halide combines with sodium alkoxide, it forms ether, and conditions you must remember to get this particular ether compound. These are the two methods for the preparation of what? Ether compounds. So remaining methods of preparation of ethers and properties of ethers will continue in the next class. Okay, thank you.